We'll be taking part together in communion in a few minutes. But first of all, we want to ask and see if there's any questions or comments from the sermon here this morning, as is our custom. Yeah, Dave, and then Jeremiah.
Did you figure out the exact words of that quote you were trying to say yesterday about?
From Edmund Burke?
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about a quote yesterday. Talking about the context was the struggle of what good people have facing them, and the main quote from Edmund Burke, which does have to do with what we're talking about, because these folks in Acts, that was a struggle. I'll get to the quote in a second, but think about that. If you're one of the Christians, and they were all pretty much Jewish Christians at this time, pretty much. There were some Gentile believers, they were pretty much Jewish Christians. And Herod can come out and kill James? You know what you're thinking? I know what I'm thinking. If he can kill James, he can kill anybody. How are we supposed to handle this? How are we supposed to, what do we do? And the quote that Dave is asking me about is a quote from Edmund Burke, who's one of my favorite statesmen, English parliamentarian. Not sure if he was a believer or not. He was Irish, and appears to have been an Irish Catholic, but he wasn't very devout. It's hard to tell exactly about him. By the way, who here has heard of Edmund Burke? Yeah, good. That's good. He said a lot of good things. Anyway, his comment was this. He said, when wicked men or bad men combine, he said, good men must associate. Otherwise, they will be sacrificed one by one in a pitiless struggle. Think about that. Think about that we were facing yesterday. You think about those who have already gone before us, who have been, made socially unacceptable, and even the Christians, right? Even the Christians will stay away from the socially unacceptable. Oh, that's the way to wrong do. That guy stood. That guy did that. That guy stood tall on that. That shouldn't have happened. I don't know what happened. I'll just mention this. I don't know what happened in Maryland very recently. Did you see that? Maryland's red flag law. Have you seen this? Man was shot to death because Maryland now has a red flag law that if somebody calls in and says that this guy has guns and he's a danger to himself or others, that a warrant can be issued to go and take the guy's guns away. And it happened in Maryland. It's the 9th time they've done it, and this time they shot the guy dead. Just because somebody said he's a danger. And apparently, from what I'm able to tell, he was never a danger to anyone. No one was ever scared of the guy. Nothing. Nothing at all. Now, it's easy for everybody else to say, oh, that guy must have done something. He must have been some bad. It's easy to shrink away from a guy like that, right? Not alive to defend himself anymore. One thing see, this is why I address the whole socially unacceptable thing. And we see that throughout the scripture. Because if those who hate Christ, think about this, my friends, if those who hate Christ can get us more concerned about whether or not we're socially acceptable to them, they will be able to knock us out one by one by one. One at a time. We need to think about that. Who are we really trying to please? Yes, Jeremiah.
Oh, I was just going to thank you for your inspiration. I had an opportunity to speak up this week and I shrunk back. So I'm inspired to maybe circle back around on that and follow up. So thank you.
Well, thank you. I hope everybody's inspired, including my little self standing up here. I hope. Thank you. Who else? Anyone else? Okay, well, I certainly thank you for your kind attention here this morning.